Hey, what's going on? It's Sean. I know I've been putting out a lot of content lately talking about gear, and this video is a continuation of that. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the new lens that I picked up, and one that's actually really surprised me. It's a TTArtisan's 50mm f1.4 for the Leica M system. So I picked up this lens at Adorama a few weeks ago and decided I wanted to give it a good, solid chance. I have a 50mm Summicron, the f2, that I've been using for a while, and I absolutely love the lens, but there are some situations where I wanted to have that 1.4, either for shallow depth of field or for nighttime photography, and I kind of wondered, for $370, what are you really getting with this lens? So let's talk about it. So one of the things that stood out to me most when I picked up this lens for the first time was just the build quality of it. It's a solid lens, you're getting good weight here, and it feels like it's completely made out of metal. You get nice clicky aperture. I know, I really appreciate that, and the focus throw is pretty nice too, a little dampened, but it works really well. It does have the focus knob, so you can dial in your focus just right and you know where you are in the focus range as you get used to the lens. The details on the lens are surprisingly good. The writing looks good, the paint looks good, except for in a few places, but otherwise the lens looks and feels really good for $370. I got really lucky that mine came and it was already calibrated out of the factory, so I haven't had to do anything to it. I tested on my 240, my 246, and my friend's M4, and we didn't have any issues with focus on any of our images. When it comes to image quality that you're getting from the lens, it's obviously not going to stack up well against the Leica version, but then again, you are getting this lens for $370, which is an absolute steal for what you are getting. So when it comes to the images here, I shot a lot of them at various apertures just to get a full sense of what it looks like. So you can see we start here at a wider aperture at 1.4, and I stop down to 2.8 and then 5.6 just to get an idea what everything looks like. You can see that there's some vignetting in the image, but it goes away as you stop down. I've definitely found that some of the corners in the images aren't as sharp as the Leica, and I think that's going to be expected for what you're getting here. But for me, that's not really a huge issue. I tend to not need that much detail in my corners, and for the most part, I'm probably going to use this for portraits anyway, where I'm going to need people sharp in the center or in a third, and I'm not going to be too worried about those exact edges of the corner because they're probably going to be thrown way out of focus anyway. All in all, for the money, I think this lens is absolutely fantastic. You know, with tax, I was able to get out the door for about $400 with this lens. And for the money, I truly think it's a great performer. You're not going to get the edge-to-edge sharpness that you're going to get out of your Leica lenses, but you're paying a fraction of the price to get, decent performance. If you're interested in following along with some of the images that I'm producing from the day-to-day, you can follow me on Glass, Instagram, and Twitter at Sean P. Bruce. Thanks for watching.